Hi you guys, so nice to be back with you. I just want to quickly, before we move into today's flow, say thank you for your beautiful comments, your gracious audience, and I've missed you as well. Nice to be back. We've got another flow for you. The one that I'm going to do with you first today is a yin yoga flow. So basically we have yin and yang aspects of ourselves, and there's also yin and yang aspects to life. Your yin side would be more surrendering, your yang side would be more active. So a yoga practice that uses a lot of muscle, that's very fast moving, that would be a yang style of practice. Today we're going to do something a lot slower. So yin yoga is all about surrendering, it's all about acceptance, it's all about turning your attention inward, checking in with what's going on with you, and then learning to move through whatever is there by basically going through it. So let's get started with our yin yoga flow. So the first thing I want you guys to do, just to really get into your body and again to use this as an intuitive tool to see what's going on for you, is a posture called the bear. So the first two postures we're going to do are going to be animal style postures. So for this you're going to be moving, and then we're going to move into postures where you're going to be holding still. So the first one, you want to stay really active. So start by turning your toes like this. So your toes are turned inward. You're going to bring your hands to the floor. So again, you're trying to embody the energy of a bear. So really gripping the floor here with your paws, and again the feet are active. So just kind of getting into your body, feeling what's going on. Maybe, coming down like this first. So a bear might come down hunting for food or something like that. I don't know, Freddie, what bears eat? Berries, something like that. Coming down really, really low, and then maybe arcing their back for whatever reason. So just again, trying to feel out what you think a bear might do. Maybe the bear comes up, checks out who's coming, whatever, comes back down. So again, just getting really grounded here. You can do anything. There's no rules here at all. Just kind of feeling where your body's at, warming everything up. It feels really, really good. I know I look weird. Don't worry about what you look like, because even though hundreds of you can see me, nobody can see you. So whatever feels good. Kind of works the whole body out, warms up the spine. Cool. And then moving into cat-cow, which we've done before, which apparently is somewhat of a YouTube favorite. I don't know why. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Maybe that's why right there. Exhale. Inhale. Couple more of those. Exhale. Hollow your belly. Inhale. Through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Through the nose. That's probably good for that. The next posture we're going to move into, we're going to do just a little bit of a side bend. So you can release the feet down now at this point. If it feels comfortable for you, bring your left hand to start right to the floor. Lift up through the chest, reach your right arm up and over. So you're just trying to stretch the whole right side of the body. Breathe here, in and out through the nose, a couple of seconds. And again, there's no rules. So if you feel something through your lower back or across the chest, you can kind of move around a little bit. Just try to feel what's happening for you today, different every single day. And then moving to the other side. So again, try not to get attached to doing whatever it is I'm doing exactly as I'm doing it, because your body is different. And again, what's going to be going on for you is different. So again, the yang aspect of ourself would be kind of clinging to perfection, but the inside would be more accepting, more letting go, a little bit more relaxed. So the next thing we're going to do is move into our downward dog, and then we're going to move into 3 hip opening postures on each side, for each leg, for each hip. And here we're going to be moving into some stillness for a bit. So exhaling, moving into your downward dog, and here you can take a few minutes if you want to or a few seconds to as I'm doing, just pedal your feet. Kind of again, just feel what's happening. Feel where you feel tension, maybe through the legs or through the feet or wherever. Just kind of work it out a little bit. That snap, crackle, pop stuff is kind of what we're looking for. And then from here, what we got? What did I do here? Okay, pigeon. So we've done this before, if you remember, in the past. So we're gonna extend the right leg back and then bring our right knee towards our right wrist. And if you recall in the past, I've mentioned that with this posture, you can put something under your hip if your hip is not touching the floor. But maybe, you know, at this point you're there. So if your hip is down, or even if you have a pillow there, from here you can stay here. We're gonna stay here for 1 minute. Or if this is pretty comfortable for you, you can come forward. So, sorry, my tag is showing. Work that. Oh, okay, so you could be here, right? Or here, all the way down. So basically what you want to do here, and again, you're just holding stillness at wherever you want, or wherever you need to be. But what we're doing is trying to find our edge. So you want to find a place where you feel tension, nothing that's like pain, nothing that makes you contract your face or hold your breath. You want to find tension and then breathe into the tension, stay as long as you can to create the space. So again, the goal here is for 1 full minute. So now just relax and again, find your breath through the nose. And now just kind of bring your attention to wherever you feel the tension. So often it's through the side of the hip here, sometimes through the front of the hip on the extended leg. Wherever you're feeling tension, kind of bring your breath there and just see if you can maybe soften a little bit more. We didn't set a timer, so I'm going to use my internal timing tool and aim for a minute here. You could have music on while you did this if you wanted to. But again, as much as possible, it's good to be just inward. So just feeling what's happening, not thinking too much, kind of staying present in your physical body. Is that about a minute, guys?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So next we're going to move into our dragon lunge. We're going to stay with this leg. If you need to, you can take a second just to release that leg. Again, just move it around, do whatever you need to do. You could go back into your downward dog, pedal it out a little bit. And then right leg, again, same leg, comes forward between your hands. So here, you can keep your hands either on a block or on 2 soup cans or whatever. Maybe your hands can be like this on the floor. So this would be the first position of this one. So you might just want to stay here for a full minute. This is great. You're going to feel this in the left hip, probably the front of your hip. Maybe here too, mostly probably on the extended leg. So staying here, if this is not intense for you, so again, we are looking for an edge. If this doesn't feel like anything to you, you could choose to bring your hands down. So moving a little bit deeper, but you can stay in that first position, no problem. So now again, we're on the clock for a minute. If you are in this position, it's good to turn the foot out a little bit, keeping the knee and the foot in one line. And you'll find that as you stay here, the longer you stay here, you'll start to soften more, you'll start to go deeper. And that's where you can, maybe you're here for 30 seconds and then for the last 30 seconds, you're down here. Again, feel it out for you. We all come into our practices from very different places and with really different histories, different tensions in the body for different reasons. I think probably you're feeling this. If for some reason you weren't, another variation might be to grab this foot and pull it a little bit closer. Again, you don't have to be doing that. So couple more seconds here, I think. Cool. And then slowly coming up, probably after this one, it's good to again release it a little bit. So very slowly with the movement, releasing your right leg back, and again, just take a moment. Ooh, make whatever sounds you need to. Whew. So good. I don't do enough yin, but every time I do it, I feel like it's what I need. Okay, so same leg, one more. So this time, right knee forward. And just walk your hands out in front of you and bring your left knee behind your right knee. Then the idea here is that you're going to come down between your two heels so that your butt is between your heels. If you cannot do this, if this is really intense through the hips, the variation for you would be to keep your left leg out and just have the right knee over like this. And you would be staying here or you would be coming forward. But if you can, we're going here. Hips between the heels, and there's a few variations here. So you can stay here. If you happen to have really tight shoulders, you could choose to bring your right arm up like this and maybe clasp, or even just set that intention and eventually it comes. Maybe staying here like this. But again, most importantly, for this particular sequence, we're working into the hips. So if possible, you might be able to come a little bit more forward. So maybe something like this. Some of you can probably go further. This particular posture, for whatever reason, has been my nemesis forever. And it's a pretty intense one for me. But you may be able to bring even your head right down. Some of you, totally possible. So doing what you can here. And again, just thinking of releasing through the hips. Try not to sit on your heels. Your bum is between your heels. And again, breathing through the nose. And since you don't have to be talking the way that I am throughout this, it's a good idea just to stay quiet and the whole time be focusing on your breathing. So again, in through the nose, out through the nose, and even keeping the eyes closed. Maybe not the first time you do this, but in future times. I'm sure this is very exciting for you guys to shoot. There's a lot going on here. Cool, so a few more seconds here. Normal to feel a little bit of numbness happening, perhaps some tingling, things like that. Don't let that freak you out too much. Okay, that's about a minute. So hands out. Maybe just bring your hands behind you to release that. You can extend your legs out, maybe shake them out a little bit. That feels good here. I'm sweating a little bit, not even hardly was moving. Whoa, holy moly. Cool. So now, evening it out, or you're going to be walking funny all day long. Let's do the other side. So back into your downward dog. All right, so other side, left knee to left wrist. You know the variation. If you can, coming forward, otherwise you can stay up. You want to think of softening through the left hip and keeping the right hip from turning out. It has a tendency to want to do that. So you want to keep your right hip coming down so that your hips are square. And again, breathing and surrendering as much as you can, softening as opposed to holding. So it's very yang to contract the muscles, and with this particular type of practice, we are trying to release the the tension, we're trying to release the muscle. So the muscle isn't working at all. Instead, we are through the stretch moving through the muscle and into the connective tissues. This is the best way to increase the flexibility. Inactive stretching, essentially. Hopefully that makes sense. And when I first started doing yin, actually, this is really interesting. I went right into it pretty intensely once I had this awareness within myself. But what happened for me is I could not stay in the postures for more than 20 seconds, not because they were, stay down there, I'm just going to keep talking, I don't want to be muffled into the floor here, not because they were physically that difficult, but because mentally it was very difficult for me just to be still and for me to not move. I had a lot going on in my head, and my thoughts kind of kept me from being able to just find stillness. So you may notice some of that stuff comes up for you as well. So let's move into the second part of this one. So again, doing whatever you need to do just to let go of that through the right side. Ooh. This stuff seriously makes you feel afterward like you have a brand new pair of legs. It's pretty awesome. So other side, left foot forward for the dragon lunge. So again, you can stay upright. You can start to lower down. If you have any problems with your knees regularly, a good thing to do is this. Put a pillow under your knee so that there's not too much pressure. That was convenient. And then, again, breathing, finding your stillness. If you can, coming down, the left foot turns out and you'll move deeper into this hip while still getting the stretch through the front of the right hip. You took a photo like this, Freddie, of this particular type of posture, or of me in this posture, and one of the yoga studios that I work at put it on the desktop, and I turned on the computer and I was like, whoa, it was really weird. Me in this posture was the whole screen, and I'm kind of looking at the camera in a funny way. Made me laugh. It's kind of scary too. And one side will often be tighter than the other. I've got that going on right now. This side for sure. I feel it a lot through the left groin, even inner thigh on the left side. Might be totally different for you where you feel the tension, or could be in like 10 places at once. Really, really normal to have tension in the hips, especially if you've done or do a lot of, a lot of running and jumping and boot camp in the park and hockey and soccer and all those things. No need at all to stop doing those things, but good definitely to balance it out. So the other thing I just want to quickly mention is that if it gets too intense, you can lift yourself back into one of the easier expressions for a few seconds, and then kind of proceed slowly again back to where you were. Don't go too far too fast. It's better just to move slowly. So moving into the third part on this leg. Again, do what you gotta do. So you really move into the joints. I don't know if you can hear on the camera, but there's a lot of snapping and cracking and all that stuff. So you create a lot of space here. So last side, where are we here? So left knee on top, right knee tucks in behind, or again, your right leg could be extended if you need it to be. Another thing you could do here, you may find that you can get your knees like this, but your butt won't touch the floor. You can again put the pillow there. Whatever you do, the idea is not to go as deep as you can. Again, the idea is to find a place where you can maintain the posture for a minute and continue to breathe and continue to set that intention to relax and to let go. So you don't want to go to that place where you're like, that's not the idea here. And that can be a tricky thing. There's an element of surrendering of the ego to here for sure. That can be hard. So, for example, on this side, you notice on the other side it was right down on the elbows. Here, for whatever reason, I kind of have to stay like this. I could go further, but then again it would be going against what the idea here is. And even though we're trying to maintain stillness, it doesn't mean you have to be rigid. We're not trying to be rigid. So if you need to adjust a little bit here and there, that's okay. So for the most part, you're still, but not in a rigid way. There's room for a little bit of adjusting, especially if you're going deeper. So see already, I can kind of start to move here now. It's pretty intense though. Yeah, I don't love this one, and that's why I always feel like it's a good one for me to do. So that's another thing with these postures. If there's something that you don't like, it's probably because you're tapping into something that doesn't want to let go of that, but that, you know, really good to let go of. All right, so I think we're all approaching a minute there. Take a few more seconds. Hands behind you, releasing the side. Again, two good options here, either just shaking out your legs or even doing somewhat of a kind of like a windshield wiper movement. Can feel good. Awesome. So 2 more postures to go, and then we're going to finish up. This next one is called Melting Heart. It's one of my favorites. It's a great posture for opening the heart chakra, for releasing emotions and such. It's also, again, very much a yin posture and very much about surrendering. So here, you may need to put a pillow or a blanket or something on the floor here so that your belly and your chest can relax fully. If possible, what we're trying to do is bring our chest to the floor. So this is not going to be possible for some people, so you may need to remember that. You may need to put something here like that you can lay your body on. Otherwise, you're all the way down, the chin is out. With your arms further apart, it'll be a little less intense. As you move into a deeper expression, your arms will come together. This is also a really awesome one to release tension in the arms. And interestingly, according to Chinese medicine, actually, your arms have meridians that are connected to your heart. So kind of these two things work together. If you're feeling really anxious or depressed, or it feels like there's emotions that are stuck, even just giving yourself a little bit of an arm massage can be good, just for again opening up heart chakra. I do that a lot. Feels really good. No, I think, yeah, for sure. So knees closer will intensify things even more. So if you can, you could walk your knees in. This is probably deeper than some of you, or a lot of you will be able to do, don't worry. Again, yoga is my only hobby. I don't write, I don't play guitar, I can't do any of that stuff. So the fact that I'm kind of stretchy makes sense. If it feels more comfortable too, your head could be down like this. Again, the idea is that you just want to be thinking of melting your heart into the floor. If it feels better, your knees can be further apart. So again, there's no rules. Make it work for you. So again, we're working to stay here for about a minute or so, and I think we're approaching that now. You might be able to bring your arms a little closer together for the last few seconds. And really slowly coming out of this one. So maybe bring your forehead to the floor and just slowly bring one arm out at a time, because it feels really intense, often through the shoulders. Oh, cool. So releasing that in any way that feels good for you. And then we'll move into our final posture. You should be feeling pretty chill at this point. Pretty relaxed, pretty loose. All right, so spinal twist. Spine twists are really, really good for your back. So if you're somebody who suffers from any kind of back pain, back discomfort, this is a really good one for you to do. You can do it at any time of the day or night. So what we'll do is we'll extend the arms out. Bring your palms to face up. Bring your knees together and up towards your chest. And then inhale. And then on the exhale, just drop your knees to one side. From here, just adjust yourself so that your shoulders are square, your back flat on the floor. Now you can just stay here like this. This is perfect. If you want to, and this can feel awesome, you can try with playing with this arm a little bit. So instead of keeping your arms straight out, it's subtle but pretty awesome, and it feels really good. You can just bring this arm, your right arm, up a little bit more. And it doesn't look like I did anything, but you'll feel it right across your arm and also through your whole chest. So you can play with the height of this arm. You may need to just keep it here, but bringing it higher will just intensify the stretch across your chest. Especially if you've been doing a lot of push-ups. You'll probably feel it. And you can keep moving it around. Maybe you'll keep it here for a few seconds, and then whatever you felt initially will fade, and then you could bring your arm higher, and then you might find something else. So again, we're just kind of learning to be aware of what's happening in our bodies. Often we're not paying close attention. It would be very yang to say that you focus outward on your actions. So with your actions, so your BodyRock workouts actually would be very yang, and that's not bad. We definitely need to nourish the yang aspects of ourselves too. But this can be a good thing to balance it out with, and just to learn that the internal awareness to foster that. Cool. So letting go of that side, knees back to the center. You can take a moment there if you want to, and then dropping to the other side. Again, adjusting so that your shoulder comes to the floor, arms straight out. So staying here, or starting to play with the left arm this time. Bringing the knees a little bit higher can be another thing you can do. You'll feel the stretch more perhaps through the spine. So on this side, I don't feel near as much for whatever reason on this side. My intuition tells me that it's because I carry always my bag, always on the right side. So there's probably more tension through my right arm and my right shoulder. That's just a guess. You guys still with me? So a few more seconds on this side. Turning your head to the opposite direction might help you to feel something through your neck. Great, so knees back to the center. Maybe just bring your arms around your knees and just roll back and forth a couple times, just releasing your spine even more. And then just extend your legs, extend your arms, and if your schedule permits, have a little rest, have a little savasana, breathe, and just close your eyes. Again, check in with what you're feeling. You'll probably feel energy moving, perhaps in a more fluid way than before you did your practice. So just feel all that good stuff that you just allowed for yourself, basically. Namaste.